Hi everybody, that's Allie.
And that is Dash,
Welcome to our playdate.
where we choose a game, sometimes make up our own rules, and play for a while.
Enjoy listening and playing along.
Or don't. We can't hear you. It's a podcast.
When we were in the general store today, I saw, instead of like the pop, what are they? The Popo Funks?
Mm-hmm.
The
Funko Pops, yeah.
I saw potato pops, and they're like Mr. Potato Head style Funko Pops.
Oh.
And one was the dude, and I was like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
That sounds very weird.
It was funny.
That's what that was that I saw. I thought they were just like different versions of Mr. Potato Head,
Yeah,
but I
no,
guess they were...
it was the dude. There were several of them.
Yeah, I saw like a Sonic the Hedgehog version.
Yeah, it was Sonic the
this?
Hedgehog and the dude. I think were the two that they had.
Okay. That's awesome.
People will collect all kinds of things.
They will. Yeah, I've never seen those before anywhere else though.
Yeah, me neither. That's why I thought it was interesing.
Yeah.
Is there a dude Funko Pop?
There has to be. Yeah.
Right?
There
I would think so.
There has to be. Yeah.
I would think so.
Jesus, the bowling guy. Jesus.
No, I trust and believe that I know. I know who Jesus is, and I know how not to interact with him.
Got you.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, little ghosties.
Hi, little ghosties. As you can see, we are in a secret location today. If you're watching us on video, if you're not, I'm sure you can hear in our voices.
Yeah,
we're in a
different
secret
space.
location. Yeah.
Yeah, we're using our on the road setup, but we are not currently on the road.
We're not on a road. We're in a
Right.
home.
Yes.
But we're on the road because we just did the New South Comedy Festival.
Yeah. Very fun.
It was
Very fun
a great
festival.
time.
South Carolina. We had an awesome time, and now we're essentially just waiting for our time to leave for the airport, and we said, hey, let's record an episode of the podcast.
And I don't think either one of us has been to South Carolina before.
I've never been. Well,
it's
lies. I mean, I've driven down from New Jersey to Florida, and you have to pass through South Carolina.
Through is different than
Right.
to.
Yeah, right.
Like, so anyway,
Mhm.
shout out to New South Comedy Festival. We had a really great weekend.
Yeah,
So
it's at Alchemy Theater. So if you're ever in South Carolina, thereabouts, in Greenville, South Carolina, you can check out the Alchemy Theater. They are at a place called Coffee Underground.
Yeah.
And they have excellent coffee, excellent treats, and watch some live entertaining comedy theater.
Yeah, everybody was super cool to us. So, yeah. So
Had a good time.
it was a good weekend. So now we're going to do an episode for you.
Yeah, so we're going to play an episode, a game called More or Less. And I got this for super cheap because I think I got it cheap because there's a misprint on the box. Instead of saying how good is your judgment, it says how God is your judgment with 2 Ds.
GODD is your judgment.
So, there's no manufacturing company, but it says moreorlessgames.co.uk. And that's very important.
That's a key.
Yeah.
That's a clue.
Right.
Right? That this is going to be a British version.
Yeah,
So
British
we've
version
got
of the game.
Put on our colonial hats, I guess. So the premise of the game is there's 4 questions on a card.
Yeah, there's
and
4 questions on each card.
If it's more or if it's less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we just look at the back of the card and it tells us if there's more or less.
Right.
It's a great little conversation starter game, but also has a little bit of a competition aspect to it because I guess whoever gets the most in their card gets the card, and then whoever has the most cards at the end wins. There's a rules card here that we're not going to read because it's just the 2 of us and we're just going to have some fun with it.
That's right.
Allie, I'm going to have you go first if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
Does China have more or less women than men?
I believe China has less women than men.
I too believe China has less women than men. All right, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna do all 4, and then we'll come back to the answer. So we both say that China has less women than men.
Yeah.
Allie, was the first automatic kettle invented more or less than 50 years ago? Automatic kettle.
Okay, so this came out in 2022. So 50 years ago would have been
72. Yeah, like the 70s.
The 70s.
Automatic. What is an automatic kettle? Like that it whistles when it's ready?
I think maybe it's one of those that you like put it on a hot plate
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like its own self-sustaining
Okay.
thing. Yeah, I feel like hot plates were a thing in the 50s and 60s, so why
Sure.
not just put a kettle on top of a hot
Right.
plate?
Yeah.
So, wait, more or less than
Then 50 years ago, yeah.
I'm gonna say less than 50 years ago.
So they were invented less than 50 years
So,
ago. So
wait, they were
between
invented-
1972 and now.
No, more than 50 years ago.
years ago.
It was invented before 1972.
Okay. I too am going to say more than 50
Yeah.
years
The
ago.
beauty of this answer is it could change.
Depending on what
how
year.
50 years,
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, depending on where you are.
Right, exactly. Where are you in history?
Mhm.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, for example, in the UK, it's 2023. The game was created in 2022, but if you're in America, it's still 1965. So, no, I'm kidding. It's sort of.
Doing the time war.
Yeah, Allie, is the sewage tank capacity of the Airbus A380 more or less than 5 tons?
Oh, I have no idea.
Do you know what an Airbus A380 is?
That's a plane?
Yeah, it's a plane. More or less than 5 tons.
I have no
One
idea.
end.
5 tons seems like so much,
Yeah, because
right?
it's like 2,000 and something per ton.
So that's 10,000 pounds of like caca poo poo?
I guess.
It has to be less. If it's more, I'm horrified. If it's more, I am horrified. Because that's also a plane that's carrying the stuff of that many people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I hope it's less. I'm horrified by that.
I think I'm gonna say less also.
Think about what
Like how many people are now?
5 tons.
I think the key here is what type of plane it is. Because if it's like a little puddle jumper like the one that we took to get here, obviously not.
It's an Airbus.
Right.
So does that mean it's big or small?
I think it's gonna be big.
Yeah, I think Airbus is big.
Plus the number's pretty high. It's A380. I feel like the smaller the plane, the lower the number.
I don't
know. We'll figure it
I don't
out.
know anything about planes.
Little ghosties, if you know, let us know in the comments whether an A380 is a big plane or
If
a
you
small
are
plane.
my brother who knows about airplane and airport things, please write into the show and tell us how airplanes work. Thank you.
Yeah. Allie, does a dairy cow produce more or less than 15 liters of milk per day?
More, oh God, liters.
Yeah, right.
I think less than 15
Okay,
liters.
yes, 15 liters is about 2.5.
A liter is just like a little one.
Right. It's about 7.5 bottles of soda. Because Americans will use anything except the metric system.
Right. No, that seems like a lot.
Yeah, I think that's 7.5. Yeah, cows
That
are pretty
seems like
big.
a lot.
You think so?
I know, but I mean, are we
7.5
just,
bottles.
well, also are we talking like natural or are we like giving them
It says a dairy cow, so
to make them produce more, which I don't know if you can do, but it seems like that would probably be something that you could do.
Well, dairy cows for sure are specifically bred to produce milk.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say more.
You're gonna say more. I'm gonna stay with less.
You're gonna stay with less.
Yeah.
Okay. So Allie, does China have more or less women than men? We said less women. China has 40 million less women than men, which is an issue caused by one-child policy and the preference for sons. This has produced a consistently male-biased sex ratio at birth and the underreporting of female births.
40 million.
Wow.
That's crazy, especially when you consider that like population is usually about 50-50.
Yeah. 40 million. And I thought dating here was hard. Imagine
yikes.
There where you 40 million men are going to be single. I mean, obviously in a binary society, but okay. Allie, was the first automatic kettle invented more or less than 50 years ago? We both said more.
Yeah.
So we both said more. More. The world's first automatic kettle was developed by the 1950s startup Russell Hobbs in 1955.
Great.
So more. We were right.
Awesome.
Is the sewage tank capacity of the Airbus 380 more or less than 5 tons? We both
Oh, no.
hoped it was less.
I hope it's less.
It is less. The A380 has a waste tank capacity of just over 2 tons.
Imagine 10,000 pounds of waste.
That's a lot.
In an airplane.
In the sky, just flying up there at any given time.
Just 10,000 pounds of waste.
That's horrifying to think about. Like, where are you going that the people on your plane are producing 10,000 pounds of waste in one flight?
But also, do they pump it like they do a trailer? Like if you go camping?
Right. I feel like
Do they,
I feel like
fill
there's
up
two
at the
things that
end and
they like
just,
pump it when
like,
they
pump
park
it out?
and pump out the sewage, pump in the gas. I don't know. I don't know plane things.
It's just a suck and pump?
So
Is that what's happening? If I ever open a gas station chain, that's what I'm calling it.
suck and pump.
Suck and pump. That's definitely what I'm calling
Oh, that's one of my favorite jokes on The Simpsons that you just reminded me of was they passed by just like, it's just such a quick little background joke, and the writers of The Simpsons are so great at this. There's a store that they pass by called Sneed's Feed and Seed, formerly Chuck's. And that's it. It's just the sign. Sneed's Feed and Seed, formerly Chuck's. And it's such a great gag that's just in the background as they drive by. Fantastic. Does a dairy cow produce more or less than 15 liters of milk per day? I said more.
it. I said less.
You said less.
Yeah.
More. A dairy cow will produce
Wow.
an average of 28 liters per day
Girl.
over a period of 10 months. Per day.
Girl.
Over 10 months. During peak lactation, a cow may produce as much as 60 liters per day. That's 30 bottles of soda.
My gosh.
And up to
Girl.
12,000 liters over her life.
So much. I
Poor
kind
little-
of get why people are vegan.
Yeah, poor little moo cow. Oh,
So you get that card.
I
You got all of
guess,
them.
yeah, I get this card because I
All
got
right, so
yeah.
my turn. Was the fastest subsonic flight time from New York to London more or less than 5 hours?
From New York to London.
More or less than
Subsonic?
5 hours. Subsonic means less than the speed
Yeah,
of
like less,
light, or less than the speed of sound.
Yeah,
But can you fly at the speed of sound for an
Yes.
extended period of time?
of course you can. Yeah. Well, maybe not an extended period. of
But
time,
like
no.
as a human, will that be okay?
That's a great question. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna say it was more. I think
You
New
think it
York.
was more
I
than
think
5
New
hours?
York to London is like 6 hours.
In a subsonic?
The fastest. I think it was more than 5 hours.
Yeah.
I think it was probably just over 5 hours.
You're also going with the rotation of the Earth, so it's funny because as you're flying from New York to London, London is also getting further away from you.
No, don't come here. No.
Come back. Okay, I'm gonna say more. I'm gonna say more than 5 hours. Yeah, because I think it's like an overnight thing. It's like an 8-hour flight. Like, what's the typical flight to
I
London?
thought it was like 6 hours.
Typically,
Yeah.
like a regular normal flight from New York to London is 6 hours.
I thought so.
Huh? That doesn't seem so bad. Oh, so maybe
I've done that flight, but I can't remember if it was from New York or if it was from Detroit. And I feel like it was 8 hours.
So I think
So I think it was
subsonic.
probably 8 hours from Detroit.
Okay.
So maybe 6 hours from New
So
York.
I'm gonna say subsonic is gonna be faster than 5 hours.
So you say less than 5 hours, I say more.
Yeah.
I say slightly more.
Just to keep it spicy.
Is a jellyfish more or less than 90% water?
Didn't we just hear this yesterday?
Yeah. A stand-up comedian in one of the sets yesterday said a jellyfish is 95% water.
Right.
And the other 5% is
stingy, ouchy
parts.
So yeah, so more. So
Yeah,
it's
I think
more
more
than
also.
90% water.
Was 50 Cent shot more or less than 8 times?
More. And I only know this because Chris Rock has a joke about 50 Cent. And anytime you ask whether he's a good rapper or not, everybody goes, I don't know, he was shot 9 times.
Okay, so more then.
Yeah, more.
More. Okay. Did Shakespeare invent more or less than 10,000 words?
More.
I think it was only 4,000.
Only 4,000 words.
I think it was less than 10,000.
You think it was less
I think
than
it was
10,000? So I say
4,000.
more.
Okay. All right. Fastest subsonic flight time from New York to London. Less.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. 4 hours, 56 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
In 2020.
Oh, that was very close.
Due to abnormally high winds in the jet stream.
Wow.
That jet stream was just like, here you go.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
I'm going to help you along.
I thought it was just over. I thought it was going to be like 5 hours and 2 minutes or something.
But now I wonder how fast it would be from London to New York with the rotation of the Earth helping you and if the jet stream were moving in that direction.
Do jet streams move in different directions?
I mean, they move around. Like it won't reverse direction, but like it does like an S-shaped thing. And then as it's going in one direction, it'll move. So now you're on the other end of it.
Okay.
Yeah. I can draw you a diagram, but it's not great for podcasts.
That's fine. So jellyfish, are they more or less than 90% water?
We both said more.
And they are. They're 95% water, and this is similar to a cucumber.
Fascinating.
So jellyfish are sea. No, because the sea cucumbers.
Sea cucumbers are a thing, yeah. Cucumbers are land
Cucumbers
jellyfish.
are land jellyfish. Think about that.
Yeah. But their 5% isn't stingy, ouchy parts. Their 5% is gross.
It's like 2% skin that you want to cut off, and the rest of it's just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, right.
Can I put salt on this? Actually, I don't mind cucumbers.
Mm-hmm.
Big cucumber, don't come after me. I like cucumbers.
Big
Go after
cucumber.
Dash. 50 Cent shot more or less than 8 times.
We both said more.
Yep. He was shot 9 times in 2000. He was shot in the hand, arm, hip, both legs, chest, and face.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's why he has that scar and the slur.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was shot in the he was shot in the face. Yikes.
Yeah.
Big yikes, dude.
He did a movie where he played himself. Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Huh.
I had like one 50 Cent album, and then
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really know his
backstory.
backstory.
I had the first one, and then
Yeah. I didn't really know his backstory. Did Shakespeare invent more or less than 10,000 words? Less.
You said less, I said more, yeah.
Shakespeare invented around 1,700 words.
Okay.
Including, do you know any? The ones I know are not on here.
I know he invented the name Jennifer, but I don't remember.
Jennifer. Moonbeam, laughable, eyeball, bump, puking, champion, bedroom, excitement, zany, and also assassination. That's just a fun fact that I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
He invented champion?
I'm wondering if people said it and he just wrote it down first. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And is the definition of the champion that he used like the grand winner of something or to promote something strongly?
Is it the verb champion or is it the... Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because it also could be the word existed and he just said, I'm going to use this as a verb.
Meaning,
yeah. Puking, though, that's a good one.
That's fascinating.
That. Yeah. Thank you, William Shakespeare.
Yeah, for all those words.
For gifting us puking.
So we tied that card.
Yeah, so I guess we...
Yeah, it just goes in the middle.
We tie it goes.
All right.
Sorry for the yawns, everybody.
Yeah, we're tired. We've had a long day. Allie, does Edinburgh lie more or less west than Bristol?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I've never been to...
West, okay.
Never been to Scotland. I'm picturing a map. West. More or less west?
West, yeah.
More west.
It's more west? All right, I don't know, so I'm going to go with you and say more west.
Yeah, let's say more west.
Okay.
Sure.
Allie, are there more or less dogs than cars in the UK?
I want it to be more dogs.
I want it to be more dogs.
I'm just going to say more dogs because that's what I want to be.
Right. I also feel like UK isn't a big car country.
I mean, it depends on the countryside. the countryside, you've got to have a car, but in London, you can get by without a car.
Right,
for
yeah.
sure.
I know a lot of people who get by in London without a
Right.
car. Yeah.
You know a lot of people who get by in London without a
Well,
car.
the podcasts that I listen to are mostly from there. So,
So like 3 people.
so like 3 people. And I don't know them personally. Not yet. Okay,
Do you
so
want to give them a shout out?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Wrestle Talk and Luke and Ollie and Tempest and all those other guys. Okay. So you say there are more dogs, and I say more dogs. So currently we're standing the same. Did more or less than 5 clubs based in London play in the first FA Premier League
Oh, this is a
in
very
season 1992-93? This is a very specific
UK
question.
heavy card.
Yeah.
This is a very UK
That's a
heavy
very
card.
UK heavy card.
What was it?
Did more or less than 5 clubs, those are football clubs, by the
Yeah,
way,
that much I got.
based
Thank
in
you.
London play in the first FA Premier League in season 92-93? So I think this is one of those where we both just
Less.
have to randomly pick. Like you say less, I say more, and whichever one gets it right is
Sure. No idea.
Allie, the most expensive of all caviar, and indeed the world's most expensive food, is almas from the Iranian beluga fish. Does 1 kilogram cost more or less than 10,000 euro? So beluga caviar, more or less than 10,000 euro?
I mean, it seems wild to me to pay 10,000
Yeah, for caviar.
euro or dollars for any food.
Right.
I hope that I sincerely hope it's less. That seems.
So I'm going to say less also. So really it's going
like,
to come
why
down.
even sell it at that point?
Right. Yeah. Well, somebody's buying it.
Right. I mean, I guess, but it cannot be that good. Like, if I'm paying $10,000 for food, like, someone is picking me up, they're dressed, I'm doing nothing.
Right.
Like, I'm there, and you're, like, putting it bite by bite in my mouth. You're doing my hair, you're doing my makeup, you're doing the whole thing.
Sure.
I'm not driving.
Right. It has to come with many amenities.
It has to be full service.
Okay. So
All right.
you say less, I also say less, so it's going to come down to the football question.
Yeah.
All right. Does Edinburgh lie more or less west than Bristol? It is more west. So despite it being on the east coast of Scotland, it is more westerly than Bristol in the southwest of England.
Great. Nailed it.
Are there more or less dogs than cars in the UK?
Fingers crossed.
There are less. There are around 9 million dogs and 32.5 million cars. So we were off by
several million.
30%, yeah. But we were both right and wrong on those two. So let's skip the tiebreaker. The most expensive of all caviar, beluga caviar, almas from the Iranian beluga fish, does 1 kilogram cost more or less than 10,000? We both said we hoped it was less.
I hope.
It is more.
No.
1 kilogram, which for those of you who are wondering, 1 kilogram is about the weight of, I'm trying to think of what, more or less. It's just like it's a weight of, I don't know, something that's small.
Y'all figure it out.
Yeah, y'all figure it out.
Kitchen scale.
Yeah, pick something up, and if it's like, oh, this is about a kilogram, you're roughly right. The almas caviar.
If it's easy to pick up, you're right.
Guess how much it actually costs?
Oh my God, no.
20,000 euros.
No.
For a kilogram.
I mean, a kilogram is not a small amount.
No.
Still.
Right.
How many servings is that?
Oh, it's a lot of servings because, like, you put very tiny amount on your cracker or whatever it is you're eating it on. You wouldn't eat this caviar the way us Americans eat French fries. Like, that's not a thing. Yeah. Okay, Allie, ready? Here's a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Did more or less than 5 clubs based in London play in the first FA Premier League in season 92-93? You said less than 5 clubs. I said more than 5 clubs. It was more. The London-based clubs were Queen's Park Rangers.
Oh, classics.
Tottenham Hotspur.
The Dragons.
Sure. Arsenal. I know Arsenal. I've heard of Arsenal.
Oh, yeah. Arsenal.
Chelsea.
I thought they were Arsenal. I thought they were from Spain.
Chelsea, Wimbledon, and Crystal Palace. Now, here's the thing. There's no Oxford comma, so it could be Wimbledon and Crystal Palace as one, but then that would make it, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, yeah. Wimbledon and Crystal Palace is 5. Well, oh, no. Wimbledon, comma, and Crystal Palace. So that's 6. There were 6 football clubs that made it in.
Congrats.
Thank you. So I got that card.
Football clubs. Wow.
Yeah.
You're
Yay,
doing
football
great.
clubs. Way to go. Do you want to call it here? You want to do one more?
Let's do one more.
One more? Go ahead.
Right. Does more or less than 60% of the population live in the northern hemisphere?
I'm going to say...
I think it's less.
I think it's less. Oh, no, wait.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Northern hemisphere.
We've got India and China and Japan and yeah,
okay,
I'd say more. Definitely
more. More. You're right. In 2021, was the population of London more or less than that of New York City?
In 2021?
Yeah. I have no idea what the population of either of those
has
are.
Has to be less.
You think?
Yeah.
London's big.
Yeah, but not New York big.
New York is small but compact.
Right.
It's small in area, but it's tall.
Mm-hmm. Remember,
London is big in area and also tall.
We're also like, it's not just Manhattan. It's like Manhattan and Queens and Long Island and.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say more. Than London. Yeah.
So New York City more than London.
New York City more than London.
All right.
And you say?
I say less.
Okay. Keeping it spicy.
Yeah. Does a blue whale weigh more or less than 200 giraffes? Well, this is a non-metric system question, so I feel like we should be able to get it right.
Blue whale.
More than 200 giraffes.
200. How big are the giraffes we're talking about here?
Yeah, I mean, this is a very American question.
Yeah.
I'm going to say more.
Okay, more.
Are there more or less than 20 minutes of action in a baseball game? I think there's
less, significantly less.
Oh, I think there's slightly more than 20 minutes.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
You
watch baseball more
than I do. So this is a 2021 question, which was before they added the new pitch clock. So the games were a lot slower. I'm going to say less. In like a 3-hour baseball game, less than 20 minutes.
What a fun sport to watch. Okay.
And none of the games actually matter because there's 118 of them.
Yes. Okay, so more. Around 90% of the total population lives north of the equator. 90%. That's wild.
That's huge.
Okay. So population of London more or less than that of New York City? More.
London more, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
In 2021, London had 9 million and New York had 8.8 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
So I was right on that one.
Yeah.
A blue whale weighs a staggering 190 tons, which is around the same weight as 158 giraffes.
Okay. So yeah,
so
more.
We were both wrong on that one.
No. The blue whale weighs more than the giraffes, right? That's what we both said.
No. 158 giraffes is what it weighs.
And it asked 200 giraffes, no?
Yeah, and I said more than 200 giraffes.
Oh.
We may have a special guest, everybody. Come on, buddy.
Come on.
Come on.
You want to come in?
Come on.
Come on, buddy. He's just checking to make sure we're here. We're still here.
Do you want to say hi?
No. Just gonna stare at us for a little bit.
That's fine.
He just wants to make sure everybody's safe and
yeah,
we're all here. So we said that the whale weighs more.
I said a whale weighs more than 200 giraffes.
And this says, it only weighs 150 giraffes. Good. Come on in, buddy.
And then you were right.
You come in if you want to come in.
There's 18 minutes of total action in a baseball game.
Yep.
There we go. Here's our special guest. I don't know if y'all can see him.
Yeah, he's just coming in.
Special doggo guest today.
We love a doggo.
And he's a good boy.
Okay.
Yeah, he's such a good boy. Okay, so this is a tie because I got the London one right.
You got the London one, I got the baseball one right.
Cool. We'll call this you won, Dash.
Yeah.
You won 2 cards. Great job.
I won 2 cards to 2 tie and 0. If this were football and the way they score this is I would have 4 points and I would have 6 points. Then we both would have 1 point, and then you would have none. So
how would we both have 1 point?
Well, because a tie is worth 1 point. in the scoring system of soccer.
Oh.
Yeah. And a win is worth 2 or 3, I guess, depending on which league.
Oh, to like move on.
Right, yeah, when they
Got
do group
it.
stages or whatever. Which I
Not
think
the
is,
actual game scores.
yeah, I feel like that's much more of an efficient method of playoffs or game
to
than
just give you win it's this many, you lose it's 0.
right. You lose at 0,
Yeah.
you win it's 3 or whatever, as opposed to whoever wins the most. And then if there's a tie, the runs matter, or the goals matter. The one thing that's always bothered me about American sports is that, like, if you're losing, you could just be like, all right, we're just going to take the loss and then pull all your players out and not even try for the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So the later half of the game doesn't matter because you're just like, oh, we're just going to lose.
But also you play teams several times.
Mhm.
So it's like not that high stakes
Right.
either. Because you're like, oh,
Right.
okay, so next time we watch the video, we do this, we have this person who
Sure.
was injured before, whatever. And
Which is the thing, like,
it's like,
if you made the runs or the goals or the baskets, like if you make the points worth something in the end,
yeah.
then your team wouldn't give up when you're down by 20. You would try to narrow that field because it matters, right?
Because if you're tied with another
yeah.
team, but you made 5 more
right, but you made
points
5
than
more
them,
points than they
then
did,
you're higher than they are.
which
Yeah,
is
it
a
makes sense.
football thing that makes soccer football thing that makes total sense that no other sport really has.
And this is now a sports podcast,
Sorry,
we
folks,
hope that you enjoy our take on
it is the one
sports.
thing from soccer that I will accept as a
Says
positive.
the guy who likes watching baseball with 18 minutes of action spread out.
No, they fixed that. They're working on it.
3 whole hours.
No, they added the pitch clock this year, so now it's a thing.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's rate it.
Okay.
So I love this box
Mhm.
because it has the typo on it.
Yeah.
I think that's lovely.
Mhm.
I'm gonna rate this a CSA. You really tried, you did the assignment, but there's some problems. You should have probably proofread.
Yeah.
This is a C.
It's a good because it's the rest of the essay may be great, but that one little spelling error just
and
sorta,
it's glaring.
Yeah.
Like it's real glaring.
Mm-hmm.
Like these are some obvious mistakes that maybe
Mm-hmm.
just a second or third pass could have eliminated. Yeah. Cards, I like that they're two-tone. I like that the back is a different color so you can immediately see which side you're looking at. Is it answer or is it the question? I kind of like that there's like hatch marks around it.
Mm-hmm. It's a very good design. They're slightly bigger than your average poker-sized playing cards. They're a little bit wider. Yeah.
So I'm going to give these, do you remember that toy when you were a kid? Maybe you didn't have it, but it was like a toy where you could like sew things and you were basically using like a shoelace.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I never played with it, but I know what you're talking about.
That's what I'm going to give these cards.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's like a satisfying toy.
Playability is super easy. You just read the cards
and say if it's, sometimes I think the wording of the cards is a little, you have to like focus in and really read it a couple of times. But other than that, I think it's easy to play. Yeah, you just say more or less.
Right.
And I like that they give you the facts.
Yes.
They tell you, they explain the answer too. It's not just more.
Yeah, I really love that they actually give you a little bit of backstory.
Because you can learn something.
Right. I thought we love a game where you can learn things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so playability, super easy.
Right.
It's like maybe one of those like first grade reading books.
Okay.
I guess we're on a school theme today.
Yeah.
And then
you're just thinking about tomorrow and having to go back. That's all.
Yeah.
And fun. I had fun. I
learned a lot about the UK.
Yeah. Learning is fun. I'm going to compare it to one of those games that we used to play on the computer back in the late 90s.
It's like an Oregon Trail level.
Right, yeah.
We did not die of dysentery, so...
Not this time, no.
That's solid.
Yeah.
We should play that game on the podcast.
The Oregon Trail? I know there's an Oregon Trail card game.
Yeah, there is.
So yeah, we should definitely... Do you have it?
I don't. I'm going to find somebody who has it.
All right, yeah. Find somebody who has it or donate down below to our podcast and and help us out with viewerships and sharing of this podcast to your friends and family so that we can get the Oregon Trail game and play that.
That's right. So thank you for tuning in to season 8, everybody. We hope you have a great week. We hope you have a great whatever day you're listening to this.
Yep. And from South Carolina,
from an undisclosed location in South Carolina. Bye.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Now we'd love to hear from you.
You can visit playdatepod.us to watch our videos,
Access our episode library,
find out more about our brand of quality, clean comedy.
and contact us with any questions or comments.
Improvisers love audience suggestions, so make sure you visit playdatepod.us.
And the podcast you just heard was a production of Society Circus Players.
If you like what you heard today, please rate, review, subscribe, and share it with a friend.
And finally, if life's a circus, we're the clowns!
Got it. We can follow directions. We can do this.
I can follow directions. You, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm always a little iffy when it comes to that stuff. Yeah,
It's the ADHD.
yeah, that's what it is.
You just like to jump.